Now, presented in digital widescreen.
Tonight on News 25, the mumps are back and the disease is affecting kids on college campuses. Railroad officials bring out the heavy equipment at a train derailment, and the next stage of Don't Shoot gets rolled out. And good evening, everybody. I'm Tom McIntyre.
And I'm Libby Allison. The Centers for Disease Control call it a rare virus, but it may be making a comeback.
As we first reported yesterday, mumps cases in Illinois up significantly from recent years. 65 cases of the mumps confirmed in the first 4 months of this year, more than double the number of cases from all of last year, and nearly all of this year's cases confined to an area around Springfield. But 9 other cases are confirmed at the U of I campus. Locally, the state health department is reporting only 1 case in Fulton County. Mumps is a contagious disease that causes the salivary glands under the jaw. Most people fully recover, but mumps can lead to sterility and deafness. There's no treatment for mumps. Doctors say the best form of prevention is a vaccine, but it won't always protect you.
Over the time, some people, for a reason that we don't understand, can lose that immunity. You know, the antibodies tend to fade away. So if there is a big community outbreak in older individuals, we recommend that they also get immunized.
Doctors say getting a booster shot's a good way to further protect yourself if you've already been vaccinated. Illinois State University trying to keep the virus from invading that campus.
ISU's battle to trump the mumps is tonight's top story. News 25's Roseanne Aragon joins us with more.
Mac Libby students and staff both have concerns over the recent outbreak. Administrators say they don't want this virus anywhere near their students. And students say now of all times is probably the worst for any virus to spread.
I can't afford to be sick.
We'd end up missing a bunch of class.
All this last week of school, I have final projects and papers due.
Finishing up projects, finishing up stuff for clinicals.
I need to graduate, and being sick is not going to help me do that.
But the university will. Student Health Services Director Laura Knobloch and others have been tracking the spread of the virus for months.
We are in contact with the other universities that have had cases.
Since February, it seems the respiratory virus is making its way downwind. First in New York, then more than 100 cases at Ohio State, and now the University of Illinois with at least 9. Knobloch says it's enough to spark a healthy dose of concern.
Some of them may have friends that go there, visit there, and U of I students may come here.
ISU junior Allison Neal's little brother goes to U of I.
I care about him a lot, so I want him to be safe, but I just hope that the university is taking precautions.
University officials say they're attacking the virus back. Doctors are looking for symptoms, ISU health workers know to report cases, and hygiene stations seem to be everywhere. They say they're ready either way. 8
physicians on staff. We have several mid-level providers, advanced practice nurses, and physician's assistants that are available to see our students.
So far, ISU has no reported cases. The university encourages students with symptoms to sign up to see a provider online. I'm Roseanne Aragon reporting. Back to you.
All right, Roseanne, thank you. One of the ways, again, to avoid a mumps outbreak is to get immunized. And that is why the Bloomington Normal Freethinkers are hosting an informational event tonight on the benefits of immunization. Immunizations through the lifespan just underway. We've got a crew there, and we'll bring you that story tonight at 10 on News 25 Nightside. Elsewhere today, crews continue to clean up from yesterday's round of severe weather.
And that includes a train derailment in rural Peoria County. It happened yesterday evening near Route 78 south of Laura. That's where News 25's Alyssa Donovan is standing by live with the latest on the cleanup efforts. Alyssa.
Libby, I'm here in Laura, just off of Laura Road and Route 78. You can see behind me, crews are still working on getting rid of this train derailment that happened last night. Actually, that pile is a pile of train cars. There was 43 cars carrying 86 containers that were lifted off the track around 5 p.m. Monday. The National Weather Service has confirmed that strong winds, at least 80 miles per hour, were the cause. Along with the train derailment, more than a dozen power lines were knocked down as well. Power has been restored to roughly 1,000 people that were affected. A spokesman from BNSF Rail said that in the case of severe weather, train crews can stop or slow down the trains at their discretion. And I also spoke with a Williamsfield resident who was on the scene just shortly after the derailment happened.
We ran down to to Laura to see if there's anybody hurt or anything we could do for them. The police were there, and the Brimfield Fire Department had just started to arrive, so we just turned around and got out of there. Don't want to interfere.
The top concern today was to have the main rail reopened, which it has. Crews have been working through rain, and it was very cold today, very windy as well. And the main track is reopened. The second track, it's a 2-line track, is expected to be reopened by 7 tonight. Reporting live in Laura, I'm Alyssa Donovan. Libby, back to you.
Thank you, Alyssa. 15-minute closures of Illinois Route 78 near the railroad in Laura can also be expected over the next few days as crews continue to clean up. The severe weather has moved out of central Illinois, but the rain is sticking around.
And Chief Meteorologist Chuck Collins is in the Weather Center tonight with details in the first forecast.
Well, Mac and Libby, a footnote to Alyssa's story. 80-mile-an-hour winds are the equivalent of an EF0 tornado, which carries winds of 65 to 85 miles an hour. That's how strong the winds were in central Illinois in some locations yesterday. Let's dial up the Doppler. Oh, we have our pesky showers out there. A few thunderstorms in east central Illinois along the I-57 Route 1 corridor. So we're just cloudy, cool, and damp here tonight. Temperatures not going very far, 50 to about 62. That's rain versus clouds versus sun. We'll do it all again tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. Maybe some relief on the weekend. Forecast details coming away in a couple of minutes, Mac.
All right, thanks, Chuck. Now to a developing story we've been following this weekend. Pekin police responded to Parkway and Stadium Drive just before 3 o'clock this afternoon. A 15-year-old high school student struck by a car there. That female student had crossed Parkway Drive after the lights had turned red. That's when police say a woman driver ran the light and hit the teenager. The girl transported to OSF St. Francis Medical Center in Peoria with head injuries. She's now listed in fair condition. The driver, an elderly woman, cited for disobeying a traffic light. Homeland Security personnel seen in Pekin today searching a man's truck. Our news crew shot this video around 6 o'clock this morning on Route 98. Pekin police confirm, yes, it's Homeland Security doing the search, and they're not going to comment any further. Homeland Security hasn't returned our calls for comment.
Peoria police are still fighting with violent gun crime, but today officers rolled out a new phase in the Don't Shoot program. It's called the Peoria Community Against Violence Group. It tries to bring citizens together to solve violence. The anti-violence initiative started in the summer of 2012. Since then, the U.S. District Attorney and the Peoria County State's Attorney have indicted more than 70 suspects. Now officials say it's time to get the community involved.
If I could use the triage analogy, you have to stop the bleeding before you can treat many of the other issues. For us, the bleeding was the street violence. We are now moving into the phases of this process that are proactive and very long-term.
We want you to join us. Tell us what your ideas are, what you believe you can do to help. You don't have to have any expertise. All you need is a heart.
The group is hosting a series of 5 open houses to get community input. For more information, head to CINewsNow.com.
More to come tonight for Hayworth and your hometown. Still ahead, social media and your kids. Just how safe is it?
But first, how the solution to the state's pension issues could cause major problems at Illinois schools.
You're watching your home team at 6. This is News 25 at 6.
I was just looking at one of our weather maps. I have no idea what you're showing there. So
that's a live look at Laura. What's going on out there? Just to show you the difference between now. Dry on Saturday and Sunday, and then get back to where we should be the early part of next week. Pesky showers out there.
Pesky.
Pesky.
Yes.
Yes.
Like
that's the polite word for them.
All right, thank you. Well, still ahead, some Caterpillar employees will soon be without jobs.
Plus, Facebook and Snapchat, Instagram, your kids' safety could be compromised by them. Welcome back. Caterpillar says it's going to shut down its marine engine plant in Fountain Inn, South Carolina. Work from that plant to be moved to another in Griffin, Georgia. Some 380 full-time, 130 temporary workers are to be affected. The South Carolina plant will be closed by the end of the year.
Illinois State University says it does not expect to see many people retiring despite some changes to the state's pension reform law. Under the money purchase option, retirees could see a drop in pension payments due to an interest rate adjustment. So far, only 65 people are scheduled to retire, far fewer than the usual 100. But does that trend continue at community colleges? News 25's Denise Jackson investigates.
About 80% of the professors and instructors at Illinois Central College in East Peoria are members of the Faculty Forum Union. Union President Elizabeth Carrico says changes in the money purchase option on pension payments has raised lots of questions among employees.
There's a lot of uncertainty, and with that uncertainty, it always comes back to, what does this look like for me? Is it the right time for me to retire?
In 2012, ICC had 74 instructors and professors retire. In 2013, that number dropped to 38, and this year, so far, only 17 employees will retire. ICC Human Resources Vice President Marty Bloodshaw says despite the changes, the college does not anticipate any impact on programs.
For us, it's a very planful approach of looking at, can we maintain the level of courses, our schedule, and service to the students in the community, and we've been able to do that.
Marty Bloodshaw says she expects that retirement numbers will fall into a trend for the next few years. In East Peoria, I'm Denise Jackson reporting.
Spoon River College in Canton only had one retiree last year, and 2 people are scheduled to leave this year. The numbers at Heartland Community College were not available.
Social media expanding every day, but what are the chances your kids are in real danger as a result? The craze has spread to dozens of different platforms: Instagram, Pinterest, Snapchat. But with strangers lurking on the internet around the world, are your kids really safe? One local parent is doing everything she can to keep her children out of harm's way.
You can talk to random people from all over the world. There are some creepy people out there. And that was what really gave me that, okay, Facebook's not all that safe. And you really, really got to watch it.
Tonight on News 25 Nightside, we'll have the full story on what this mom is doing to protect her kids, and we'll take a deeper look into the latest apps which are taking over your kids' phones. Sports up next with Lee Hall. Big recruiting news for Bradley.
And the Bulls try to keep their season alive tonight against Washington.
All right. So Bradley's getting somebody.
Yeah.
I am. It's been a long time since there's been races up there.
There you go.
Thank you very much. We'll be right back.
Well, a few pesky showers out there and maybe a few pesky drips, but that's another story. Mid-50s tomorrow with more rain off and on as well.
Speak for yourself.
Pesky.
You call it a drip.
Yeah.
Inside Edition is up next. Remember, you can get news and weather around the clock on CINewsNow.com.
Good night.